The first time I had money in my bank account, real money, not just enough to survive. I remember I opened the app, looked at the number, and I thought, okay, now everything is going to be different. But nothing changed that day. I was still the same person, sitting in the same room with the same thoughts. And honestly, that confused me more than anything. That's interesting because most people imagine that moment like something big, like everything changes instantly, like your life becomes better in one day. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what I thought too. I thought I would feel proud or calm or maybe even happy, but I just felt normal. And that's when I started questioning everything. Before that moment, my mind was very simple. I used to think like this: if I just make more money, my stress will go away, my problems will go away, and I will finally relax. Because when you don't have money, everything feels heavy. You think about rent, food, transport, bills, even small things feel big. I remember days where I had to calculate everything. Like, if I spend this today, can I still pay this tomorrow? And that kind of thinking drains your energy. Yeah, that's real. When you don't have enough, it's not just about money, it's about constant pressure. Exactly. And that pressure makes you believe that money is the solution to everything, the final solution, not just financial problems, but emotional ones too. So when I finally started making good money, I expected peace. And to be fair, some things did get easier. I didn't have to think about every small expense. I could eat what I wanted, go where I wanted, and not worry about basic things. But here's the part nobody explains clearly. When you remove survival problems, your mind starts focusing on deeper problems. What do you mean by deeper problems? Things like purpose, direction, meaning. Before, I didn't think about those things because I was busy surviving. But when survival is no longer the main problem, you start asking different questions like, what am I doing with my life? Or, is this really what I want? I remember one specific night very clearly. I had money, I had free time, I could do whatever I wanted. And I just sat there doing nothing. Not because I was tired, but because I didn't feel excited about anything. And that moment hit me hard because I realized something very simple. Money gave me freedom, but it didn't tell me what to do with that freedom. Wow, I must say that's a strong realization because people usually think freedom automatically brings happiness. Yeah, but freedom without direction can feel empty. It's like having a map with no destination. Well, let me explain it in a simple way. Money doesn't change who you are, it just makes it more visible. If you are disciplined, money gives you more results. If you are lost, money gives you more ways to stay lost. If you are calm, money gives you peace. If you're anxious, money gives you bigger decisions and more pressure. So, money is not the solution, it's more like a tool. Yeah, and like any tool, it depends on how you use it. There's another thing that I personally experienced, and I see it in many people. It's the idea of just a little more. You tell yourself, when I make this amount, I'll be satisfied. And when you reach it, your mind moves the goal. Now it's not enough anymore. Now you want more. What you're saying is the goal never really ends. That's exactly it. And if you are not careful, you spend your whole life chasing something that keeps moving. And the dangerous part is you think you are getting closer to happiness, but you're actually just extending the chase. Now, let's bring this to something very real. Money does improve your daily life in practical ways. You can live in a better place, you can eat better food, you can travel, you can have comfort, and those things matter because they affect your quality of life. But here's the difference: comfort is not the same as happiness. You can be comfortable and still feel empty. You can have everything you need and still feel like something is missing. Another thing that changed for me was how I saw relationships. When you don't have money, you focus on people who are close to you because they support you emotionally. But when you start having money, something strange happens. You start questioning people more. Um, in what way? I don't understand. You start thinking, is this person here because of me or because of what I have? And that creates a different type of stress because now it's not just about connection, it's about trust. People think money makes life easier, and in some ways it does, but it also makes decisions heavier. Before, decisions were simple because you didn't have many options. Now you have many options, and that creates pressure. And it's because every decision feels important. Where to invest, where to live, what to do next. And sometimes having too many choices is not as good as it sounds. Yeah, that makes sense. More options, more responsibility. Exactly. And not everyone is ready for that. So, if you ask me, is money the key to happiness? I would say this: money can remove certain types of pain, but it cannot create real fulfillment by itself. It can give you space, but it cannot tell you what to do in that space. And if you don't understand that, you might spend years chasing something that will never give you what you expect. I see. So let me ask you something more direct. When you started making money, did you make mistakes with it? Yeah, a lot of mistakes. More than I expected. And the funny thing is, I thought having money would make me smarter with money, but it didn't. At the beginning, I started spending more, not because I needed things, but because I felt like I deserved it. I worked hard, I made money, so I thought, why not enjoy it? And that sounds good, but it becomes a habit very fast. So it wasn't about needs, it was more about emotions. That's right. It was emotional spending, not logical spending. Sometimes I was tired, so I spent money. Sometimes I was bored, so I spent money. Sometimes I felt empty, and I tried to fill that feelings with things. And the problem is, that feeling always comes back. Let me tell you something very simple but very real. Buying something feels good, but only for a short time. You get excited, you feel something new, but after a few days, it becomes normal. And then your mind looks for the next thing. It's like your happiness depends on the next purchase. And that is very dangerous cycle, believe me. Yeah, it's like you're always chasing something. Exactly. And the worst part is you don't even notice it at the beginning. There's another trap that people fall into when they start making more money. It's called lifestyle growth. You upgrade your life slowly. Better apartment, better food, better clothes, better everything. And at first, it feels great, but then it becomes your new normal. So, what was luxury before becomes normal later. And once it becomes normal, you don't feel the same excitement anymore. So now you need even more to feel something again. And that's how people get stuck in a cycle where they always need more, but never feel satisfied. One of the biggest lessons I learned is this: money does not fix how you feel about yourself. If you don't feel confident, money doesn't give you real confidence. If you feel lost, money doesn't give you direction. You can have everything outside, but still feel confused inside. Probably that's something people don't expect. Yeah, because people think money changes your identity. But your identity comes from your actions, your habits, your decisions, not your bank account. Another thing that surprised me was how money changes your environment. You meet different people, you go to different places, and suddenly the world around you feels different. But that also means you have to be more careful because not everyone around you has the same intentions. Mm, so trust becomes more important. Yes, you start paying attention to people in a different way. Who is real? Who is not? Who is there because of you? And who is there because of what you have? And you have to know that can be exhausting sometimes. Let's talk about something that changed my perspective completely: time. Yeah, time. At some point, I realized something very simple. I was making more money, yes, but I had less time. And that made me question everything. So you're saying that you had money but no time to enjoy it? I had the ability to do things, but not the time to actually do them. And that's when you understand something important. Money without time is not freedom. So if it's not just money, what actually makes you feel happy? For me, it's simple things, but not easy things. It's having control of my time. It's waking up without stress. It's having real conversations, not just busy days. It's feeling like I'm moving forward in something that matters to me, not just making money for the sake of it. and also relationships, real ones, real relationships. Because at the end of the day, you don't remember money moments, you remember experiences and people. The real problem is not money, the real problem is imbalance. Some people focus only on money and forget about everything else. Others ignore money completely and struggle all the time. But the truth is that the real goal is balance. Money is important because it gives you stability, but it's not everything because life is more than just survival. Let me say this clearly because I wish someone told me this earlier. Chasing money without purpose will not make you happy, but ignoring money completely will make your life harder. So, what is the answer? The answer is not one or the other. It's understanding what money can do and what it cannot do. Money is not the key to happiness, but it can open some doors. The problem is, many people open those doors and then realize they don't know where to go. So, please, don't just focus on making money. Focus on building a life that makes sense for you. Because at the end, money is just a tool. Alright, let me ask you something honestly. If you had all the money you want right now, could you actually know what to do with your life? Think about it and write your answers in the comments. Congratulations! To continue improving your English skills, click on the next video or watch our full list of videos.